Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting at a distance of 92 million miles is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose inhabitants still think digitizing videotapes is a pretty neat idea. Back in the 1950s, a group of excitable young men in neat suits and sharp haircuts invented a machine so improbable it could only have been the result of either divine inspiration or a very long lunch. It used a tape 2 inches wide, 2 actual inches, because in the 1950s, size was considered an adequate substitute for progress. The signal was recorded not along the tape, but in rigid stripes straight across it, like an accountant had been left alone with a ruler, a headache, and far too much authority. The men who operated these machines were, by necessity, a peculiar breed. They wore ties, smoked incessantly, and adjusted knobs with a reverence usually reserved for nuclear launch sequences. They developed what could only be described as a relationship with their machines. Not quite love, but certainly something that would make the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation very uncomfortable. The 2-inch tapes themselves were so heavy they came with their own gravitational pull, and so temperamental they refused to play unless handled just so. They captured news, sport, light entertainment, and on a very bad day, all 3. The National Film and Sound Archive has spent decades gathering, cataloguing, and relocating mountains of reels from one shelf to another in a majestic dance of bureaucracy. However, by 2025, in an unlikely turn of events, the tapes had unionized. The operators had retired to an undisclosed coastal facility. The machines were grumbling, and the tapes declared, "No further playback. Thank you very much." To digitize a tape is a ritual requiring patience, incense, and possibly a small sacrificial goat. Each tape must be retrieved from a bunker, cleaned, mold-treated, baked, cleaned again, played back while the operator prays to the god of head alignment. And yet, somehow, out of this chaos emerges history. Preserved, digitized, catalogued, and naturally immediately ignored by most of the population. Until, of course, the whole lot sinks into Lake Burley Griffin.